previously had been zoned commercial 1. Last use of it, I think, was as like a kind of a store, like a sundry store. I did research and find that that was done around the late 70s when it was brought back to life. That building's been there for a long time. It used to be an old gas station, a very long time. So, but now it's been converted. It's been remodeled and converted into a single-family home. So, I was just suggesting that we may want to go ahead and rezone that property back to the surrounding zone, which is agricultural. We make it match, so that we don't have a spot zone sitting there commercial.
Could it be a residential or
Oh, if we did it residential, it would still be the same spot zone. It doesn't match the rest of the zoning district. Everything around it is agricultural.
I've got a map printed out. I've lost it in my shuffle. Give me just a second.
Carry on.
It's a
Sorry about that. I fear in my desire to be organized. Oh, here, look.
There you go, you got it.
Shove this aside. So here's all right, this is not that big. Right here. It's sort of a this is the property. It's 3 parcels technically. This is everything around it is there's some residential over here, but lined up right across from this. You did speak with the owner?
Yes, I spoke with him this afternoon. And he did come in this night.
Oh, sorry.
That's why I recommend it.
Perfect. Well, if you don't mind, are you agreeable if we initiate the zone change from the C1 to the A? Okay, we just wanted to make sure it made sense, obviously, to align with the use of the property and to have it aligned with what's around, but we wanted to be doubly sure that you were okay if we went ahead and initiated that change.
And another additional detail too, that you may not be able to see if it's really small, is that this property now, the parcel that is owned by Mr. Kohler, is actually a split zone property. Some additional acreage was added to that parcel through a merge, and the bulk of the property that was added to it was still zone A. So the property actually has the old lot boundary as the commercial 1, and the remainder of that parcel going up to the creek is zone A. So it just really makes sense to bring those back. The additional 2 parcels are both less than 0.02 acres. They're very small. And I know that the property owner had been pursuing purchasing one of those parcels. Did you get it? Okay. So you haven't closed on it yet, then?
Yeah.
You have?
I just got it.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Okay, so there'll be 2 parcels with the same owner. The other small, very small parcel, the county doesn't even have a tax mailing address for that property. It's just no name. I don't think they don't maybe know who owns the property at this point. So
Somebody's got to.
I know.
at one point, I believe it may have been intended to be some sort of like a little spot or
He
something.
owns an electrical company
Oh, okay.
in Northern.
Okay. Well, if you don't mind, if you know how to get a hold of them, you can share that contact. Let's send them a letter.
Well, I don't think he owns the other little.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the other little piece, the very, very small piece is the one I'm talking about. Yeah. Right.
Are we good to move forward with that?
Yeah. So, I'm just requesting under ORC 519.12 for a resolution by the board to initiate that zoning map amendment.
This point, I'd like to make a resolution to turn to the Ohio Revised Code Section 519.12A1. The board hereby authorizes the initiation of the map amendment to the zoning resolution of Tate Township, Monmouth County, Ohio, commercial C1 to district agricultural A district for parcels identification numbers 323008EZ E040 of 0.5588 acres. Parcel number 323008B057, 0.028 acres. And parcel number 323008B015, 0.02 acres, which are shown on the map attached hereto as Exhibit A. And upon adoption, this resolution shall be certified to the TATE Township Zoning Commission for the process of accordance with the Ohio Revised Code Section 519.12B. Sorry.
Yes.
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 Do you have this ready to give us the losers? That will be the word.
Yes.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Baird.
All right, and just for that, then as we're moving forward, we'll designate that as zoning case 1847 SV. And that's all I had under old business.
Okay, go ahead and move on.
New business, I had put this again on my report last month. We did not make it that far into the zoning section. I got a quote. It was attached to the last report, and it's there again for you in the paper that was handed to you, for 3 new zoning signs, zoning notification signs, the ones that we have. I'm spending probably $15 a time to get stickers, be able to update the dates and everything, and get both sides on those per sign. So, I'm just going. Got a quote from D-Sign. They're a local company in Westchester. They they make most of the real estate signs that you see out and about. They have a metal sign, the same thing, and so I was suggesting here that we may get metal signs. They have magnetic dates and times that we can use to put those on there and be reusable, as opposed to having to buy a new pack just because I need 3 letters out of it every time. And I can't get them off of there and be able to reuse them because they rip and peel apart and everything. So,
Does this quote include the magnetic letters, or is it
Yes.
separate? Okay.
yeah, it's on there. Where is it?
Alright.
Their quotes are a little hard to read.
You know what, it says text on there, and I bet that's the
Yeah. So they will do a proof of the sign template. So a lot of the information, for example, I have 2 signs out right now. I only have 2 sign frames. I have both of those signs out right now, and the one I had still had the wrong address on it, and we meet at the fire department building now, so I had to get some spray paint and update the sign and everything to make it appropriate, because we've only ever used one at a time. Now I'm in a situation where we're using 2. So I would still use those existing signs as a stand, if I had to. If I had to have out more than 3, but I'd like to get their minimum order is 3. So go ahead and maybe looking forward to that. They did tell me, I don't know where it's at on here, that the magnetic numbers and letters, like they have like days of the week, times, numbers, and letters that I can use. So that quote was at $387.02, $387.02. $44.74, that is great. If I pick it up myself, I go out to Westchester and pick them up, I'll have to pay freight.
How about the tax?
The tax, I wanted to ask, we'll probably talk with Kathy, we should probably just need to send them our tax exempt information. So, as it stands, the quote is for up to $387, I expect it to be less, by the time we get it all adjusted.
We have plenty of letters, right?
Yeah, there'll be enough to do what I need to do, like, if it's a Tuesday or, there'll be numbers for each month and date. The pack it runs like 1 to 31. So we just need one for each side to be able to do that.
Bring us out of the seventies, correct?
Yeah, well, just getting it a little bit more, it's a little bit more efficient to be able to work with that. And we're paying something every time I get a sign.
Right.
These will be, long term, it'll be a cost saving.
You recommend it?
Yeah.
Sounds good to me, sounds like it's something that's definitely needed. So at this time, I'd like to recommend that we use D sign for three 30-inch by 24-inch metal frames and panels for the cost of $387.02 for the zoning department notice signs.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Last two items, real quick. Ed and I talked about this before. For the forthcoming year for the OTA, I was recommending that we get OTA membership, affiliate membership for Mr. Stanley. He went to the OTA conference this year and we of course had to pay as a non-member for him to go to that, which I don't remember how much the difference between the member and the non-member price was. Sorry?
I think it's 30,000.
Yeah. And then also that would then get him in, be able to get back into webinars and the information that come out from the OTA. Affiliate membership is a total of $35, and we're under a membership drive now going forward, so all of our subscriptions are going to have to renew anyway. I was just wanting to make sure that we added him to the list since he's not currently an active member. If you feel like something.
We want to educate you.
And you get the magazine.
That's right.
Got pictures.
Yeah.
At this point, I'd like to recommend reaffirm the CCTA OTA affiliate membership for Ed Stanley as a part of 2025-2026 renewals.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And so the last thing I have, I try to be really quick on this one, but I'm recommending here that we evaluate I think we should approve getting a OTA education subscription for the township.
What was the cost on that? I remember.
It's $250
For the township?
for the township.
Any limit on seats?
No. All active and affiliate members get access to all education materials available on the OTA for $250. As an example, real quick, I just got one today, the April webinars that are coming up. One of them is what House Bill 315 means for zoning. That webinar costs members $20 for that webinar.
I was actually looking at that same list and flagged that one.
So-
I think.
2, 3, 4.
So if you remember, we did that. 250.
Yeah,
For the year.
for the
And
whole year for all of us.
And it includes all past sessions from all OTA conferences that are available.
So we can see the ones from January?
Yes.
Yeah, there were several of those.
And just for comparison, I did run it through. So the 5 webinars for the month of April that are there, the ones that are on that list, Member cost is $130 for all 5 of those webinars.
We pay for it if all of us watch one webinar in 1 month.
Yeah,
In the whole year.
yeah, and there's so many changes in law now that are gonna be covering a lot of those, the new community authority, cybersecurity, and 2025 labor and employment law updates, things that are coming out. Those are the kind of sessions that are there. It would be very beneficial for us to have access to that education. They had a fact, I know that was said that for a year, they're estimated probably if you did all webinars is near $1,000 for one person.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to recommend that we join the OTA education subscription for $250 for all of the township members.
Yes,
Yes.
Yes. And I didn't have a chance to ask Chief Cooper if there was anyone in the fire department that might have, because I don't believe they have any membership to that either, if there's anything that they see beneficial, but all township employees are eligible, and all citizens actually still are eligible as an associate member if they're interested. It's not quite the same, they don't have access to the education.
And they reach out to them, see.
But that's all I have, that's everything on my.
very good, thank you.
A lot of changes. Well, the next one there, the financial, we're still gonna go through. Pull up on that, or
Yeah, I think we can talk
would you like to open that up since you did research on it?
about it. Not so much research, I just have some secrets.
Yeah.
So we have, I guess for the last month or so, we've received some requests for presentation of some type of fiscal summary or fiscal report, on our website. I think we all agree that makes a lot of sense, and so at our last meeting, we were sort of, talking about the best way to present that kind of data. That would still be usable to the public, what would they wanna see, based on sort of reports and things we're already doing. So one of the suggestions that I received was to use ohiocheckbook.gov. That's actually a program that's run by the state of Ohio. It's currently available at all times. You can go to the website and type in a township, and it will present essentially a breakdown of the funding that's spent, right? So if you go to TATE Township, you go to the website and you type in TATE, you can see the total dollars spent and you can see which funds that they come from. So for example, fire, street, EMS, general, and then sometimes there's an other for any sort of collection of other funds, and that's currently available now. So I think a great first step is to just post the link to that, that website that's already in existence. It's based off the closed books of each township. I did some poking around to see everybody else's townships and what ours was on there. So, I know Pierce Township has this link on their site as far as like under their fiscal reporting, so I think it would be a great first step for us to just get that up there. It's currently updated, I think, through 21 and 22, because we're doing audited financials now for 22 and 23. It sort of follows the audit year, so there is a little bit of a delay. That's going through the state of Ohio, so I think that's a great first step, something we can do now. Step 2, or something that's a little more current, because while I think that's a great program, it's a bit outdated. And I think that it sort of satisfies some of the questions and sort of the call of the question that we've gotten. The other thing that I think we could do is create from the reports that are sort of run each month. I don't think it would be too much to put together sort of sort of like a budget, the appropriations versus the revenue summary, so that the residents can see sort of where the funding comes from, what those amounts are, and then how that compares to the way the money's been appropriated. So I spoke with Kathy about that earlier today, and she agreed that it's probably something we can put together. So we're going to work on that, and circle back hopefully here in the not too distant future with what that might look like. You know what I'm saying? No. Yeah, it's there's not a report for that. There's not, sort of in the general reports and the way books and records are kept by the townships, there's not something that we can just sort of point to and put up. But I think there's a way we can make it pretty palatable and understandable based on the information we have. If we read the form, we can kind of put it up there. Yeah. So that's what we're thinking. So I think we're gonna work on that, and we'll hopefully by the next meeting, so we'll be able to come back together with what that form might look like, and we can talk about whether we can do that with whether that would be good.
Sounds good. One of the things I have a concern of is obviously there's still some about the new website. So we're not doing it on this one and then turn around and have to do it again.
Yeah,
Is it
so
at anywhere close?
It is. Shelby and I met with the Grant Career Center folks right before they went on spring break. So I know I've got some feedback. They presented what they've been working on. And I've got some feedback. We had not been back with them to talk with them. So we were sort of looking at a May launch time. So I think it'll actually line up pretty well to get this done, to go live there. But even if we didn't, I think that the way, and Shelby, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the way we could upload this information, it would be really easy to transfer. Would you agree?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. Mr. Huckner contacted me today asking about how there's some things that they don't have available in their license that they need to be able to access,
Okay.
probably under our license. So yeah, he has sent that in this afternoon. I was wanting to discuss with Pam a little bit on the license of what we have, how do we add another website, or could we use the staging site
Okay.
on that? So I just wanted to yield to him having a little deeper knowledge with WordPress than I do in the past, how things are implemented. So I didn't have a chance to reach out to her today on
Perfect. Maybe we can bend your ear at the end of the meeting. They've been doing a great job. We met with them. I can't remember the date now. It's of course been great. But they're doing a nice job with it. I think the goal is for them to know.
That's no one my concerns. If they're really Okay. Well,
So that was what's out there.
that's waiting. So we're trying to get more open, transparent, have everything out there available.
March 12th.
Do you have any questions on it? I was good. I'm good. All right. Well, this time, I'd like to go to new updates for Scarlett.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I wanted to circle back with you guys. One of the things, and Kathy and I were talking about this earlier, the auditor is working on the township audit, so that happens on a yearly or every 2 years. 2 years. For 2 years, there's an audit that's done in all the townships, essentially to ensure that the financial statements are complete and presented fairly and all of that good stuff. So they're in the process of doing that. They're picking up documents and all of that good stuff. One of the questions that they had for us was whether we wanted to have what's called an entrance conference. Sort of think of it like a kickoff meeting, if you will, before they start an audit. She indicated that a lot of townships just waive that conference, so it doesn't occur often. Instead, they submit sort of a list of questions that are answered primarily by the fiscal officer. And then there's usually like, so she'll submit the questions, Kathy with our assistants would answer them, and then they start the audit, complete the audit, and then I would submit the closing meeting or something. Yeah. So she just wants to know if we wanna waive that or if we wanna hold it. She sort of needs to know that before we can really get going on the audit process. I didn't know if you guys had a preference.
Actually, it's what would be the, obviously, it's a lot of this is on you, it's not something, how this will be graded, it may be easy on your, working of it and everything.
I don't know that it's gonna matter, I think it's, yeah, I mean, her comment to me was not a lot of confidence. So I'm comfortable leaving it. Kathy, she sent me, and I printed an extra copy for you, she sent me the agenda. So if we were to have an entrance conference, what it would look like, is it contains some of the questions and things that they asked, so I'll give that to you. But if it's okay with everybody, I'd like to go ahead and let them know that we'll waive it, and, we can just sort of get going on the questions. Is that okay? And then the other thing, they also sent out a fraud risk questionnaire to the trustees. And she asked us to make sure that we also met this.
And that's,
Trustee, did you get one?
No.
You know? Okay, so I'll make sure to get with her to get one.
I have a question on that. This time,
Yeah.
I'm sorry not to interrupt. Is that from a Rebecca Brewster?
I was just getting ready to say, we told her for hand, she wants to do also.
Well, she had asked, and I wasn't sure who that was, so I
Yeah.
read through it, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. And
Yeah,
so I got a second email today, so okay.
That's what I said, that request just came out like 3 days ago or something.
I had got one
there was
few
one
weeks-
in
a few weeks back or last
several
month.
weeks, yeah, and then I got a second request, I think today as well, and I said, wait, I already sent this, so got quarantine, got it, thanks.
I didn't send it, so okay, I'll get it.
Yeah, go ahead and send it.
I just want to make sure that was legit.
It is, yes.
That's why I was questioning about it, one thing.
Yeah, it's, Kathy was saying this, they state changed their requirements, and that's why they're starting to listen to the first one.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and Rusty, I'll make sure to get you
Okay,
one.
thank you.
Yep.
It's real simple.
Alright, so that was one thing I wanted to talk about. The other thing I wanted to propose is that, we consider using agendas, public agendas for our meetings. Been doing some poking around other township websites, and they are often used, by other townships, and I know we've had folks, here recently mention it to us. I know it's something we've just never done, the board of trustees never really had an agenda, I don't know that there's been a need for one. But with the number of things that are going on, I think it would be useful for us to keep track of things and just sort of have a written record besides our minutes of sort of what the plan was for each meeting. And then I think it would allow folks, who may be interested in particular topics to be able to check the agenda and know whether that topic is coming up in front of us and what it is. So I just wanted to throw it out to you guys, see if you had thoughts. I was sort of envisioning we could post it on the website, in advance, the week before, and then provide some paper copies available.
Yeah, it sounds good, as I said, it's, the whole goal here with this board is to do, that you see in the last several months, is to try to make everything transparent. There's been a lot of questions in the past, and obviously it's, we're blessed to have, people with the, just say, computer background and knowledge and help us out to make this process smooth, so I think, yes, so it's, I believe you really want to do this. I would like to recommend that we start putting an agenda to our TATE Township website, each of our upcoming meetings, and it should be posted, it says posted within 48 hours. We're going to try to have it posted a little bit before that. But definitely
Steve.
That's really, yeah.
Yes.
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 I have a quick thought.
Hold on. We're like real close to
Okay.
public, so that work? Okay, do you have any?
I just have one more thing, I swear I'm done. On this idea of the legislative changes, that are happening sort of with our notification and sort of the idea of communication with the public, I wanted to just throw out the thought that the township have a Facebook page. The Facebook page, the primary goal, as I would envision it, would just be to post notices. I think we could post notices, meetings, the hearings, the vacant positions that we have. I think it would be another way, just because I in a number of conversations I've had, folks say, hey, listen, I don't regularly check the website, so I miss things sometimes. But I would have been really interested to see X, Y, and Z, or participate in X, Y, and Z. And I don't think, and I'm just gonna, ask Shelby's thoughts here, since he sort of is very involved in posting things for us. My hope is that wouldn't be a lot of extra work. I would propose we turn off comments so that it doesn't become a back and forth forum, but rather for now, as we're getting our feet wet, it's just a place where we can post where someone can follow and they can see it without the extra. I would envision the posts being the same, like whatever we put on our website would be mirrored on the Facebook page, so there's not any conflicting information. But I was just trying to think of ways to have other avenues to get some of the things we're trying to do out to a broader public, especially with the land planning that we're engaged in. Just another way to reach. So,
I think there already is a TATE Township Facebook page.
there
And I-
is,
But it's not us, it's somebody else that uses the township, so it has to be a different.
Okay.
Because their picture is, out. It's like to.
probably not gonna be when we do it.
Right, but I'm just thinking that, BT Buzz, remember when, Sean Pryor tried to start that up and tried to get somebody to on it, and it would post things, they had a lot of followers, from this community.
Okay.
Maybe, he would be willing to give over the passwords or whatever for that, and we could use that, just a thought.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Could you do another?
No, I think what she's saying is that Mr. Pryor started a Facebook
Okay.
page called BT Buzz and had a fair number of followers,
But nobody to run it.
but nobody to run
And
it.
he's too busy.
Well, and that is the biggest, in my mind, the biggest concern is I'm very cognizant about the administrative work that could require, which is why I was suggesting that we don't have comments, that it's not a page that actively follows other pages, but rather is honestly really more passive. I think that's all we can probably handle. at
You
this
can
point.
set up the website to also post to whatever Facebook page you attach to the website. So
Automatically?
any of those posts, any of those blogs that say the meetings, they go to all the subscribers, and they would also go to anybody on, that would go to the Facebook page that they were attached to.
Oh, okay, so really, whatever we would post on the website,
It wouldn't be anymore.
it wouldn't be one?
It's not public, it's just personal.
Shelby, you want to comment?
Shelby, what are your thoughts on this? 'Cause I
No,
know-
that's, yeah, I was saying move this investigate, it should be that we can, it's like a cross-post syndication, as soon as we put a posting, it just broadcasts it out to all the different, avenues we want to go to.
That way, the citizens just have to get signed up to it.
UD website.
And it should be, and of course, then the TATE administration, is where we want to make those, I would recommend that we make those shareable posts so that people can then propagate
Share
it
it
out.
on, yes.
But the page attribution stays, since this is official, especially if it's official notification portal under the new law, that that attribution and ownership is very clear, who posted it when.
I just think that would be another way for us to do work. And I know that's so.
So that let everybody know, yeah, support this
Yeah.
forward. Cause I don't have my last night's news.
Mhm.
It's, what was that house bill?
Yeah, so it's House Bill 315. OTA actually put out an implementation guide that I was looking at earlier today. And because of some of the things they were talking about last night. And it does note that House Bill 315 now permits townships with their own websites to fulfill the public notice requirements on it. So, but the way that the language is worded, there is a little ambiguity about whether there is a requirement to post on a social media account. The OTA has interpreted it to mean that if you don't have a social media account, you don't have to create one for that purpose. But because of the way the statute is actually written and the word choice used, I honestly would rather avoid any sort of interpretation question than this.
And this would also be a way to, another addition to our postings of all different meetings. Just so you know,
Yeah.
I would recommend that we still keep paper postings at the firehouse, public buildings, something like this.
I think
Right.
that's-
That way, everybody's used to that, still follows it, but yet we also have this new branch also.
This would just allow us to not have to post in the newspaper. We no longer have to be worried about the extra days to get the postings in, to get them to run for the 10 days before the hearing. We just lose a lot of time. This would allow us to.
Yeah. I support that because we were posting a lot of township business on the fire department page there for a while.
Okay.
And trying to make sure we were coordinating
Yep.
what the posting was saying and what we were putting on there.
Well, this could also, you guys could look at some of your postings.
Well, we'd be able to share back and forth, yeah, absolutely, but I think it's a great.
Okay. Well,
Do it.
very good. Okay, at this point, I'd like to recommend that we start a TATE Township Facebook page to post all of our township postings of the meetings and hearings and any other updates.
Yes.
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 Okay, just go ahead.
Sorry, on that topic.
Yeah.
Who you're going to designate, that's set up a page administration.
That's
for that.
you, Shelby. So I think what makes sense, let's talk to Mr. Fryer and see what the status of that page is, if it's available, if we could sort of just pick it up. And then, based on that, let's figure out how we designate an admin. Is that okay? But we might have to do that.
Sure.
But at least we can investigate.
Get it the motion.
Have a couple.
Yeah, we need to have more than one, too.
Yeah.
More than one page, yes.
Agreed, several,
Yeah, that's
3 or 4, just in case.
If, you said in your motion that you were gonna create a Tweet Township Facebook page, could that also then be amended to say or potentially assume the BT Buzz if Mr. Pryor's willing to let the township take that, and then say BT Buzz is the official Facebook page of Tate Township.
the TATE Township PT Buzz.
But because if that's already an established page name, from there we just say that this now becomes is becoming the official portal of the Tate Township Board of Trustees, and other departments as the public portal.
So we can have that we would need to have that conversation and then come back and do that, yeah. And at that time, we could identify who we Perfect.
Perfect. I just wanted to bring that up since this is a little bit, it's just not as simple as saying, oh, we'll do it. It's a few more steps.
Totally fair, and we'll have to figure out what happens. But at least
Okay, this time, I'd like to open up the public participation. if there's any comments for what we just discussed on new business.
There's just one
Give
name, unless, does
everybody
anybody wanna
a
add?
chance.
Let me be second.
Let Mary be second?
Yeah.
Oh. There we go. Elizabeth is perfect, thank you.
Take some of these first, so.
All right, this point, first one on the list here is, Greg Schuler.
Just real quick, in order to try to head off any misunderstandings about who I am, what I'm about. I've been active in local government for over 25 years here, and not just township meetings. The village socialists know me well, the school board knows me well. I'm on the Republican Central Committee. I'm involved in county politics and government as well. And my goal has always been transparency, which I'm glad to see you worked on, and accountability, where money's going and how citizens are being treated. I've always advocated for the rights of citizens, for the privileges of the citizens. Sometimes they can get stepped on. I've seen it. So that's, I was speaking last time about getting the agenda, and I'm glad to see you working on that. Because that does, as the other gentleman pointed out last month, that it does give the public a chance to see what's going on at the meeting, allows them to prepare for the meeting if there's an issue come up. So, I'm glad to see, I was going to bring it up. I'm glad you brought it up. We had an email earlier about it, and I appreciate your response on that. And like Kathy did, she sent me what she did have on it, what was coming up. So that should be available to the public, and also public records. I've always been an advocate for, and they need to be kept open. You guys are doing the business of the people. The records belong to the people, and the Open Meetings Act, the Sunshine Laws, all demand that all deliberations are done in the open, and that all votes and all decisions are made publicly. So, like I said, I've been attending these meetings for over 20 years, 25 years, and I'm glad to see that you're becoming, you're publishing the videos and so forth. I think that's a great asset for the people who can't attend the meetings, and it's also creates a record there of what's going on in the past. So I just want to say that my actions, I don't want to be misunderstood. I'm not attacking anybody. I'm not after anybody. I'm only after transparency and accountability. Thank you.
I'd like to add something, something on there is, you see, you see for a year now, we've been trying to change like I said, there was a lot of stuff, and again, it's overwhelming about how much stuff, especially with the zoning and stuff that's going on also, but we have been trying to do this. This was brought up, probably November, I guess, and it's been also discussing about our website, the new website trying to get, we're just trying to stop doing things twice. Set it up on the website that we have now, and then turn around and do a new website, reset it all up again. There's enough as it is. It's like I said, from the very beginning, you've been seeing this board, you know, so there's been numerous changes to try to make it open and transparent. That is the number one thing here. We are here for the people. I agree with you that that's the way it should be.
Now the village finally went to live streaming on Facebook for their meetings.
We're not gonna do everything. I'm gonna be
So,
straight
I
up.
mean, you're talking about, you go into a Facebook page, so that may, be more effective. For one, it's live stream, and you don't have to post it separately. It would be on, say, on your Facebook page.
It's just so you know, because it's a hard time, and you hear us, you've been here several times, you can hear us trying to get people to step up and be on the BZA and plus the zoning commission. Now, this is just another thing that we have to ask people to step up and try to help out, because there's no way all of it can be done by 3 people. And so that is also going to be another thing. So, I mean, as we all know, especially with the way the electronic world is, there's new ideas coming on every day, and we can't do all of them. We are going to have to. We are very, like I said, we've done the video, we've done putting stuff on the websites, and now we're starting the budget and everything. It's going to be a point where you're not going to sit back here just because somebody dreams something up, and we're going to say, okay, yeah, we'll adopt that also, because we are being very transparent here. So there's going to have to be a point where some things have to stop, or like be updated, eliminate some of the old things, and go to a new thing. But it's just so everybody keeps making on.
Well,
Yeah.
all I got to do that is like zoning, the bills, us trustees, the village, we're building bridges and we're getting along in the scale.
And I would like to say, Pam, you're the very first one that started out with the website. 5 years ago or something like that? Oh, okay. Time flies.
Yeah.
But anyway, I want to
That
thank
was,
you.
I mean, my goal was to have transparency, going on, because we're the key.
Right. That was the beginning steps of it. It's not picked up to the point where it is now. But we are definitely going to get it out there. And that's the whole goal for all of this.
And
Yeah.
we started with 1 meeting a month. Now we're 4 or 5 meetings a month, and now we're 2 or 3 meetings a week.
Now, I've got 3 meetings this week.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
that goes with the job.
Yeah.
But thank you for
And-
being sorry.
And the village has come a long way too, since 10 years ago.
And we are open for
They have
suggestions.
a lot of documents, so forth online, which is great.
So that's
You
another
don't
thing that Mr. Purvis said. That is a bridge that has been mended here with the village, and we are communicating and doing projects with them, and that's what it's for. It's right there on page with them.
Yeah, a lot of people in the village think they don't belong in the township. I'm like, you vote for a trustee just like everybody else. And they are a part of the township, and they're about a third of the population.
Like if you're out there about the anniversary, we're working with them, and we're gonna have a trip there. Everybody that's involved is very excited about it, and it's gonna be a great celebration.
So we had meetings in February about we brought the school board, the town council, historical society. There's total of 6 groups that we brought in here. And that is us. And the community trying to work together, because that's what the goal is here, is to build a community. Right, all of us try to go together.
And I think Jay, the mayor and all, he's always been for it. And
Yes.
there's been barriers there in the past, we all know.
Those barriers are
And
down.
it's not healthy for the community. And I'm glad to see it.
And like I said, we appreciate your suggestions.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
it's like I said, if anything else comes up, feel free, let us know, because we are here to try to, we can't come up with everything, and we're all coming up with different ideas. And try to do it.
Thank you.
Second one on the list is Ms. Irvin.
Thanks, guys. Well, I was just gonna make a suggestion, but I really kind of want to respond to what Mr. Schuler said. And, what I heard is that people, are getting stepped on, and people, you guys weren't in the past, weren't open. But I just want to say that I feel like this last year or so, like, people are being represented. You guys are doing a fantastic job. And, I mean, like you said, the meetings, they would come in and turn the lights on and turn the lights off. Nobody attended, nobody cared. And I see that the community is so involved now, and it's because of what you guys are doing. And I was thinking when you were talking about, putting some things out there so that people could see. I don't think the community really realizes, unless they're your spouse, the meetings that you guys attend and all the extra things, because a lot of people come in here and they come to a meeting on Tuesday, but they don't know that you guys have attended, 2 more meetings, or, you've had a lot of people, in the community calling. I know often, when we're out to dinner, we don't typically get through a dinner that we don't have somebody in the community calling. And I know you guys are the same way. And, Kristen, I mean, what you've been doing, just the language that, being able to speak, to, our legal team, or, I mean, it's just so beneficial. And, I just thank you for that. I mean, it's so eye opening when you come and watch all of you together. I mean, it's not, it's not this job that is constantly, you're getting pat on the back for. It's very selfless, and you guys have all put yourself in a situation, that you are representing us, and you're doing a fantastic job, and I see it because, Rusty is my husband, and I know what you all go through daily. It's a lot of work, and I think if you're going to put some things out there, to make transparency, then there's nothing wrong with putting out there all the other things that you guys are doing and putting the meetings that you're going to. It's not just here on Tuesday nights. So I think that's something that people would like to know and they would like to see. And I think that you guys are out there doing the work. And people don't know. They think that you just come in here on Tuesday nights, every Tuesday night now. So anyway, thank you all for what you're doing, because it's really amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Call you guys Team Tate. Team Tate. Okay. Next one on the list is Jody Wilson.
No, my brother didn't pay me to say this either. My name's Jody Wilson. When you were talking about the Facebook page, people call me the Facebook queen. You really have to be careful about that too. I am an administrator on 2 Facebook pages. Sometimes when you get a bunch of administrators in there,
Sure.
it can get very tricky. Usually the most we've had is 4, and made someone like the key person, because yours may be a little bit different, because there are some days, especially people know I was very involved, and I still am, with what was going on at the animal shelter. And there were literally times where I got on our supporters of the Claremont County Animal Shelter page 350 posts and people asking questions and want replied. And I didn't ghost any of them. I answered all of those questions. So when you start making it an open forum, it can be very,
I think we're not doing
This
that
is just a
at this
posting.
point.
just
No.
posting.
You're just
Yes.
gonna be posting notices.
Yeah.
I think turning off comments is probably the best way to make that clear.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
We're gonna sort of dip our toes in here and just to use it as a way to sort of,
To put your meetings out there as a thing, the agenda.
yeah.
You can put the agenda out there.
Yeah, it'll be just another communication
Yes.
device, but
Yes.
I don't think we're to engage in something
Yes.
quite like that. So I think
I don't think you ever want to do that.
probably
That's all
not,
I'm
but never say
saying.
never.
Ah, because it can get very, I mean, one night my boyfriend was like, "What is that?" And I'm like, "It's my Facebook page painting." So that was that. I also want to say, and I'm not here to bash my township. No one comes to our meetings in Williamsburg unless someone's complaining about something Karina, solar are the big ones. Well, not solar anymore. I don't think you guys realize how blessed you are to have the whole team of what you have here, because no one wants to come to our meetings because they feel unwelcomed. They feel there's no transparency. You guys do a great job. I tell people all the time, I wish I could move all of you guys, Cleveland Village, over to Williamsburg.
Try it.
And I'm sure, I know, and I'm sure they're probably hating me saying this, but it's the truth. You guys are doing an excellent, excellent job.
I agree, yeah.
It'll be 4 years that my brother's been a trustee, and he used to have dark hair. I know, but
This is my natural color.
yeah, right. But I don't want to get emotional, but I'm very proud of him. I'm proud of all of you guys. You're doing a great job, and I agree with Mary. The public needs to know what you guys are doing because they have no clue, no clue whatsoever. You guys spend more time away from your family than people can even understand. And public get-togethers with the family, always interrupted. Christmas, Easter, doesn't matter when it is. So I just wanted to say thank you to you guys for that. You're welcome.
All right, that is it on our list.
There's someone in here.
I see it.
Okay, well, hold on. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. We lost a few of the people, but it's again, this what we're here for. We want our public participation in everything we do. It's all of us building this community. And at that point,
So where's your daughter off now?